What's up guys, it's Adel and I'm back with another video. This is the first video that I've made in a while. A lot of crazy stuff has happened in my life. I was just busy doing a lot of things and a lot of things came up, so I'm back now making all these videos again. I just took a break for about 5 months and now I'm back. I want to make some more videos for y'all. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I'm just here right now just eating some fruits right here. Got some strawberries and grapes. Also dressed up like as if I'm gonna be a part of the Squid Games right here. See, look, got the whole Adidas bluish green tracksuit right here. I'm ready to be the next player in the Squid Games. But anyway, we're here. The next video that I'm going to be doing here, as you're seeing, is my favorite albums that were released this year in 2021. I had a really good time listening to these albums and listening to these artists within the past year, and just going through my music listening history. It was really cool to see which artists and albums I really dug. So let's just get to it then. But before we do that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I had to do that self-plug right there. But anyway, have my list of projects that I listened to within the past year, and we're just gonna go over that real quick. Anyway, here we go. So the first section will be some honorable mentions, some albums that I really enjoyed listening to but didn't really love as much, but I still enjoyed like a good majority of the albums. So let's just start with the first album. The first album in the honorable mentions is Flowers for Vases / Descansos by Hayley Williams. So Hayley Williams is the lead singer of Paramore. I really like their music. Since 2020, she's released 2 solo albums, and I really enjoyed her first album, Petals for Armor. It had a very indie, experimental, electronica, dance kind of sound to it. This album, though, the Flowers for Vases, it had a more stripped down, acoustic, kind of experimental sound to it. It was really nice. I just felt like some parts of the album just kind of sounded very similar in a way, but overall it was just really consistent and I enjoyed it. Some of the songs that I enjoyed from that album were the songs Trigger, My Limb, Asystole, and Just a Lover. Next album is The Off Season by J. Cole. Now, I am a fan of J. Cole's music. I wouldn't say I'm like a very die-hard fan of his, but there are a lot of songs that I really enjoy from his. I really liked the 2014 Forest Hills Drive album. I really liked the Revenge of the Dreamers album that was released before this one, and also KOD was another album I really liked listening to. So when he released The Off Season, that was one of the albums I was really anticipating. And overall, I really thought it was a consistent album. He really just delivered, and whatever you expect out of a J. Cole album, he just delivered with that. You usually would expect great lyrics, great flows, great production on the songs, and he really just delivered all of that on those aspects. And my favorite tracks from that album were 95 South, My Life, and Pride is the Devil, to name a few. The next album is The Melodic Blue by Baby Keem. I believe this was his debut album, and yeah, I believe it was just a very strong debut for a new artist like him. I really like how he kind of combines both elements of hip-hop and R&B and mixes it together. I really like the melodies that he develops on some of the songs and just the way that he raps too, and the energy he brings to the songs also. So yeah, I was really vibing with it. I really enjoyed it. And some of the tracks that I enjoyed from this album were Trademark USA, Family Ties, Range Brothers, 16, Vent, and Lost Souls. Lost Souls features Brent Faiyaz. He did a really great hook and feature on there. And 3 of the tracks that I mentioned feature Kendrick Lamar on there, and Kendrick's one of my favorite rappers, and it turns out that Baby Keem and Kendrick are cousins in real life, and all the tracks that Kendrick were featured on, they both just killed it. I really love the chemistry that the both of them had. And yeah, solid debut by Baby Keem, The Melodic Blue. Next album is Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. I'll admit that I didn't really initially like this album at first when it first came out, but it's one of those albums that grew on me and I still enjoy a lot of songs on there. I just thought that the album was like a little more subdued and stuff. I know like the other songs on her previous album had like a lot of more kind of like upbeat tracks in a way that had some pretty nice production on there, but the production on this album and maybe just like her delivery of her vocals were just a little more like subdued and calmer in a way, which was fine in the long run just re-listening to him. But yeah, there are several tracks that I still listen to and I do enjoy on the album, such as NDA, My Future, Oxytocin, Getting Older, Lost Cause, Therefore I Am, and the title track, Happier Than Ever. The next album on this list is Punk by Young Thug. Now, Young Thug is one of my favorite artists, and this album is just another example where I didn't initially love it at first, but it really grew on me over time. The sound and production on this album is more along the lines of his album Beautiful Thugger Girls, which happens to be one of my favorite Young Thug projects. It's just a more intimate and stripped back sound on this album. It isn't as trap heavy as any other rap album or song you just hear, but I really liked the whole stripped back aspect of it. It's like a nice change of pace and sound for it. Some of the songs on here that I really liked were Die Slow, which was the opening track. Really enjoyed that one. Then the next song, Stress, which features a great feature from J. Cole. And then another track I liked was Peeping Out the Window, which features Future. The song Living It Up, which has Post Malone and A$AP Rocky on it. It's just a nice upbeat kind of song. And also the song Love You More, which features Gunna and Nate Ruess, who is actually the lead singer of the band Fun. And this song is like the perfect example, the more intimate one. It's more of like a ballad, and I really enjoyed that one. And then I really liked the next song, Hate the Game. Probably one of my favorite tracks on the album, or like the top ranked ones for me. It's just another introspective one, which is kind of upbeat in a way, stripped back production, really nice. And then the song Days Before, which features Mac Miller, which is also another perfect example of a stripped back acoustic kind of introspective song. But yeah, I've grown to like Punk more a lot, and yeah, it definitely is a solid album. Now let's get to the albums that I really liked from this year. So starting off with probably my favorite album of the year is Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator. It's no surprise, I'm a huge Tyler, the Creator fan. Exhibit A right there, Exhibit B right over there. So yeah, I really like this album. It's one of the most anticipated albums I was looking forward to for this year. And in my opinion, I think it's just a pretty perfect album. Really loved all the tracks on there, really loved the production, and just the whole theming of the album, which is basically him just trying to find love. And then also at the same time, it's about him just talking about the success that he's had from the start until now. It's like he's on a victory lap, just celebrating his successes. It's kind of crazy how he started off as just this wild young rapper with his group and just running around just being crazy and getting banned from places. And now today he's way more mature. He's a Grammy winner and has had successful businesses that are just beyond music. And he just built this empire and his brand. And it's kind of crazy that he's done that. And it's really inspiring in a way too, you know, that you don't have to be someone who has to be categorized into a box. Oh, you're a rapper, you only make music. It's about just kind of expanding and branching off and trying to be successful in new ventures that are outside your box. The music itself, I just really like the direction that he's gone since the past albums he's had. He's just matured in his sound from album to album. It just sounds like the production is so clean and everything. I know like his old production is just like it's crazy synths and all these, but now it's like very polished and refined. Like you'll have like some jazz flutes and instruments and horns on these songs from the latest album, and it's just his own style production that's like kind of his trademark. Like no one really makes beats that sounds like his, but it's a great album. I really like these songs: Juggernaut, Corso, Massa, What's Your Name, Sweet, I just like the whole album. I like him. I like the album. It's great. Next album on this list is Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine by Brockhampton. Now, going from Tyler to Brockhampton, they're within the same sphere right here. But yeah, Brockhampton, one of those groups I really like all their projects. I feel like they're also an artist that matures on their sound from each succeeding album that they release. This one in particular has a more experimental sound and has a lot of big group effort in a lot of the songs too. There's some bangers on this album, and then there are some songs that are very introspective too that are really nice, and I just really like it had a fair balance of those kind of songs on there. I really like the opening track Buzz Cut, which is really a big banger that sets the tone of the album, and also has a great feature by Danny Brown on there. He just really spazzes out on it. Other tracks that I enjoyed were the songs Chain On, which is a nice kind of like chiller rap song that has a good feature from JPEG Mafia on there. Another song that I like is Don't Shoot Up the Party, which is a really nice upbeat banger. Another banger that I like on there is the song Bankroll, which features both A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg. Also like the song Count on Me, which is a nice, calm, kind of melodic rap track on there. Also like the track The Light, which is actually a nice song that has both Kevin Abstract and Joba on it. It just highlights both of them, and it's just a really big, introspective, deep song that just kind of builds up to, like, you know, a peak in a way, and it's really nice. I really like that track. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's a fair balance between bangers and more chiller songs, and I liked it. Next album on this list is Tyrant by Slow Tie. And just like Brockhampton's album, Tyrant has a fair balance between in-your-face, upbeat songs and then a more introspective and calmer half of the album. Starting off with the track 45 Smoke, it really just sets the tone for the first half of the album. That track is just very loud and in-your-face, and Slow Ties is dropping bars and just very energized. Then it goes into the next song that I like, which is Cancelled, which features Skepta. And it just kind of follows that kind of path and sound of just like high energy kind of songs right there that I really enjoy. And then the song Mazza, which features, again, another A$AP Rocky feature. They both deliver on that track too. And then somewhere in the middle, it turns a little more subdued and calmer, such as with the songs NHS, which is more about a song that's about mental health. And then the song Terms, which features both Denzel Curry and Dominic Fike. Another introspective, calmer song in a way. Just really liked all their contributions onto the song. Probably my favorite track on this whole album is the song Feel Away, which features James Blake on the track. He's featured like in the second verse basically, and he just delivers a beautiful verse where he's just singing. And I just really like the whole production on that song too. It just has a nice keyboard melody, and just really like everyone's delivery and contributions on the song. But yeah, Tyrant by Slow Tie, another great album. Just like I said, fair balance between hip-hop bangers and then more calmer, introspective songs. And going off of that Slow Tie album, the next album on my list is Friends That Break Your Heart by James Blake. Now, going off of the song Feel Away from Slow Tie's album, that had to be one of my favorite songs of the whole year, and it has James Blake on it. So now we're here talking about James Blake's own latest album. I really love James Blake's singing voice. I really love the production on his songs. I really just like the piano parts and the synth parts that he always incorporates in there. And I feel like this album wasn't as experimental heavy as it usually is, but overall I just really loved the songs on here. They were just really great put together songs. They were just written well. Just really loved the emotion that he really evokes whenever he sings his songs. So yeah, even just starting from the top of the album, I really loved the song Famous Last Words. Just a really beautiful song right there. Just love the chorus on there. Just love the way he sings on it. There's songs that I liked on here were Life Is Not the Same, the song Coming Back, which features SZA on it. I really like SZA. I really like her feature on the track. And the song Say What You Will, probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. Just once again, just love the way he sings on that too, and just the emotions that he delivers, and just the overall message on the songs also. Also like the songs Foot Forward, I like the song Show Me, which features the singer Monica Martin. Just really like that collaboration. I probably think it's one of the best collaborations on that album. I really like the song Funeral, which is a very nice, intimate song. And also like the closer, If I'm Insecure. I think it just closes out the album really well and just kind of ties in the sound of it and the mood that you feel when you listen to it. So yeah, that was Friends That Will Break Your Heart by James Blake. The next album on my list is An Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic. Silk Sonic being the duo that is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. And yeah, this album, it was just flawless in my opinion. It's what you would expect out of an album if Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak combined forces and produced an album. Just a very heavy R&B, retro funk 70s kind of sound to it, which was just perfect. Just really love the production on all the tracks. All 9 tracks, which they pretty much just put everything into each 9 track. Like they just gave it everything and put every ounce of like funk and soul and emotion into it, and really liked it. I really love the album. It's only 9 tracks, but I really loved those 9 tracks. I really liked Leave the Door Open, Smoking Out the Window, 777, Blast Off, Put On a Smile, After Last Night. I just loved all those tracks on there. And yeah, Evening with Silk Sonic, great album. The next album that I liked from this year is Montero by Lil Nas X. I just really love how Lil Nas X doesn't really give a fuck about what he does. He just does what he wants. He's very controversial to a lot of people, but he just does whatever he wants. He's open about the things in his life. And yeah, I just really think that artists like that are like the best artists because they're not scared of anything and they'll do whatever they want. But yeah, overall the album just has a nice fair share of great songs that are very upbeat and catchy. And then there's some introspective songs on here too that's more at the tail end of the album. I really like the songs Montero, Call Me By Your Name. I really like the songs Dead Right Now. Also love the song Industry Baby, which is probably my most listened to song of the whole year. I just really like the way that him and Jack Harlow both delivered on the track. They're just very braggadocious in a way. Sounds like a very triumphant song, especially with those trumpets that you hear throughout there. The song One of Me too, that's probably just maybe my second favorite track off this album. Just a great song. Love the song Scoop, which features Doja Cat on there. She sounded great on there. It's a nice upbeat catchy track. I like the song Sun Goes Down, which is one of those introspective songs that I just mentioned, and it's a song that has like a meaning and message to it. You know, it's a song about how he felt when he was dealing with his sexuality and stuff, and it's a great song. And then the closing track, Am I Dreaming, which features Miley Cyrus on it. I think it's just a great closer, nice introspective, calmer song, like an acoustic guitar in there. Overall, the album was consistent and I enjoyed it. The next album is Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast. Now, Japanese Breakfast albums definitely have like a more somber tone to them. However, this recent album has a lot of more upbeat kind of songs on there, which I enjoyed. There's like some elements of dance, experimental funk on there, and pop, which sounded really nice on this album. It has a more triumphant sound to it, and it's definitely an album that's about overcoming obstacles and going through tough times and stuff. And yeah, I really like this album. Some of my favorite tracks on there are the opening track Paprika, and my favorite song on this album has to be Be Sweet, which has a very nice bass line on it, nice groove, nice kind of dance pop track on there. The other tracks that I really liked on here too were Slide Tackle, Posing in Bondage, Savage Good Boy, Posing for Cars, and Kokomo, Indiana. If you want to get into more indie rock acts, I would recommend listening to Japanese Breakfast and this album. The next album on this list is the self-titled album by Shelly FKA Drum. Now in 2016, when Shelly FKA Drum was still known as Drum, he put out one of my favorite albums of that year, which was his debut album, Big Baby Drum. There were a lot of great songs on there, and I really liked his mix of hip hop and R&B that he would incorporate into his sound. Now he's back as Shelly, FKA Drum. He had the name change, and he put out this album, which was really good. I really enjoyed it. Has more of a strong R&B influence on there. It's more R&B influenced, and he sings a lot more on there, and I really liked it. I really liked the songs on there. All Pride Aside, which features Summer Walker. There's also a cover of the Daft Punk song Something About Us on there. That's one of my favorite songs by Daft Punk, and he just does a really great cover of that. The other songs on there that I like are the songs The Lay Down, which features Her on there. There's like great guitar work on there, and just love the mix of rock and R&B in a way. It's really nice. And also the song 93 Acura Figure. I can't read my words, but written down here. But it has Erykah Badu on there, but it's a really nice track. I just really like how both of them just mesh together on the track. And the song Remedies. But yeah, that's a great album. I know that this album sort of flew under the radar in my opinion, but if you haven't listened to the album, you should go ahead and listen to Shelly, FKA Drum's self-titled album. And now the last album, last but not least, probably is my second favorite album of the year, has to be Donda by Kanye West. Kanye is one of my favorite artists, and I always look forward to whatever albums that he drops. I know over the past few years there have been albums he's tried to make and then just scrapped basically, but I was really looking forward to this Donda album he was going to be putting out, especially how leading up to the release of it he would hold these listening parties in these football arenas and stuff. And yeah, just watching them from the live streams on Apple Music, they were pretty cool. So I was really looking forward to it finally reaching streaming services and listening to them. And despite it almost being 2 hours long, I just really like the album. I think it's one of his better works that he's released in recent years. I just really like the whole message of the album, which is about basically family and faith and overcoming a lot of obstacles too. And I just really love the production on there. I just really loved also the features, because any album with Kanye in recent years has big features on there that always deliver. If you're going to be featured on a Kanye album, you're going to have to deliver your best. And a lot of the features on here, they really did do that. They delivered. My favorite songs on the album starts off with the track Jail. Features a nice surprise feature by Jay-Z that just sets off the tone for the album. It's a great start. Then my favorite tracks off the album that are probably like my favorite tracks of the whole year. There are 3 of them that I really love. The song Off the Grid, which features both Fabio Foreign and Playboi Carti. I feel like all 3 of them just spit well and went off on that track. It's such a great song that just puts you in a hype mood and everything. The next one I really love, one of my favorites, is Hurricane, which features The Weeknd and Lil Baby. And Kanye, Lil Baby, and The Weeknd all deliver on that. Love the hook that The Weeknd provides. Lil Baby's verse is really nice, and Kanye goes off on it too. It's just a very introspective track. Song Jonah, that's great, has a great feature with Lil Durk on there. Junior, which also features Playboi Carti again, just a nice kind of upbeat song on there. The song Believe What I Say, which features a Lauryn Hill sample, which I believe is from the song Doo-Wop, That Thing. It's just a nice, very soulful R&B, hip-hop kind of song that Kanye just really flows really off of. Just kind of reminded me of the old Kanye songs that you would hear from College Dropout and Late Registration, where he would just take a sample, flip it, and just, rap over and just flow so seamlessly over. Song I like also is 24, which is a nice kind of choral, choir, soulful arrangement. Really love that one. The song Remote Control is amazing. I love Young Thug's feature on there. I just love Kanye and Young Thug's chemistry on the song. They just sounded really nice. The next song that I love is Moon, which is probably my favorite song on the whole album, because it's just a very soulful, emotional song. It just has Don Toliver and one of my favorite artists, Kid Cudi, featuring on there. I think they just really delivered a great hook, and just their verses too are just really nice. Kid Cudi's verse in particular, you know, he's the only one who has a verse on there, but that song is remarkable. I really love it. The next song that I like is Jesus Lord. I feel like that's just a very nice introspective song there. Also love the songs New Again and Pure Souls. Those are some great, you know, tracks that both Kanye really just goes off on. Just also songs that are just based on faith, which is a heavy theme on this album. And yeah, that has to be Donda. It's a great album. I just really enjoyed. And with that being said, those were all the albums that I enjoyed listening to in 2021. If you liked some of the albums on here, just comment down below which albums you liked and what tracks and what you loved about the albums. If there are any albums that I didn't mention that you would like to recommend that you enjoyed, comment down below too. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I definitely will be back producing more videos, so just stay tight, stay put. I'll be filming more videos and pumping out more content. So enjoy the holidays. Hope to see you in the next year. Stay safe out there. And yeah, see you all later.